Okay, in the last video we were just finishing example 1 when the time ran out, and I quickly rushed part B. Part B said give the directions that would get me back to my starting point. So now you're up here and you want to go down there. And so if you want to get back, you could go down, right? Keep going down and then eventually over. This angle right here and this angle that you just found, the one that I had measured, was this guy. So this was the 35 degrees. And somewhere perhaps in your math life, you learned that, and I said this in another video the other day, that this angle and this angle will be equal. Can you see the SED there? It's called the SED rule informally. Formally, it's alternate interior angles. Two angles that are on opposite or alternate sides of a line that cuts two lines that are parallel. So this line right here and this line are parallel, and this purple line cuts them, my resultant. So 35 and 35. So I would go south 35 degrees west to get back. Okay, so that just finishes number 1, part B. I'd said at the last video I wanted you to try example 2 before the next video. If you feel like you have a good grasp of what we did up here, give it a shot. As soon as you get screwed up, stop and come back to the video. Okay, so if you think you can, if you want to try it, stop the video and give it a try, because physics isn't a spectator sport. You're not going to get better by watching me. You actually have to do it. So in this one up here, I'm hoping that you did it with me. If you didn't, you need to do this one with me. You can pause me as many times as you want, but you need to try these. I can do them because I've been doing them for a couple of years or more. All right, example 2. A dog notices a cat from his doghouse and chases it 50 meters west, 40 degrees north. The cat then turns and goes east 20 degrees north, 35 meters, and then another 40 meters east. So we have 50, 35, and 40. You might want to let 1 centimeter equal 5 kilometers. Okay, that means your longest one will be 10 centimeters long. So it's going to be a fairly decent size. Okay, now where should we start? You're going to go west-north, which is over and up. Then you're going to go east-north. And then you're going to go east-south. You're going to go down. So you'd better start quite low, down here somewhere. And you're going west first. So I'd probably start somewhere down here. Okay, and so now our first step is to draw the use the protractor to measure out the first angle. And the first angle is, where to go? West 40 degrees north. So from the west, you're going to measure 40 degrees north. So at east-west, we run it this way, and from the west, you're going to go up 40 degrees north. So line up your protractor. And from the west, whoops, I just moved my protractor. From the west, put a little dot for 40 degrees. And this vector needs to be 50 meters. So it needs to be, for me, 10 centimeters. Oh, look, and I'm not going to go off the page yet. Still time, though. Okay, so again, I just need to adjust this so it'll stay up while I'm drawing. Okay, so 50. Put an arrowhead on. Label it. 50 meters. Label your angle, which was in here, and it was 40 degrees. Okay? Once you finish that, so pause me if you haven't drawn it and draw yours. Okay, and now once you finish the first one, you make a little tiny XY axis, a new guy, up here where the first vector ends. And now we're going to add our second vector there, which is east 20 degrees north. So from the east, you're going to measure 20 degrees. So from the east, so line it up this way. Too bad I can't see. From the east, and you're going to go north 20 degrees, okay, using the inside numbers. If your protractor looks like mine, 20 degrees. And this guy needs to be 35 meters. With a scale of 1 to 5, that would be 7 centimeters. So line it up. And from here, go to 7. Put an arrowhead on. And you should probably be doing yours in pencil, okay? I'm allowed to do mine in pen because I've done this question before. If you're doing it in pencil, make sure you have a really sharp lead because you don't want the thickness of the lead to be screwing up your measurements. Okay, so 35 meters, and this angle that we measured was right down here, 20 degrees. So you need to label them as you draw them, okay? And then it says at the end of that one, so again, at the end of this one, we're going to do a tiny little XY axis again. Whoops, imagine that's straight. Okay, and this time it's east 15 degrees south. East 15 degrees south. So it's still going to be running east-west, but now the protractor needs to go downward because I want to measure south. So I line it up right at the tip with the XY axis I created, and from the east, I'm going to go down, what was it? 15 degrees south, right here. Okay? And now this vector needs to be 40 meters, which is 8 centimeters. So right with your your end of your second one, and you're going to go out 8 centimeters. And I know you can't see all that, but I'll move it in a second. Okay, and now we're going to put an arrowhead on, label it. This is 40 meters. Oh, I wrote centimeters in there in this one, but it's meters really. And this angle here is the 15 degrees. Okay? So there it is. Those are our 3 vectors. Now we're going to draw in the resultant. So I'm going to switch colors so you can tell which one my resultant is. Starts always where the first one started, ends where the last one ended. Put an arrowhead on where the last one ended. And now you're going to measure it. When I measure it, I get 9.4 centimeters. But 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometers. So when I multiply 9.4 centimeters by 5, I get a length here of 47 meters, right? So because we said 1 centimeter equaled 5 kilometers, and this was, I forget what I said, 9.4 centimeters, and so its length then in using the scale would be 47 meters. I now need to measure the angle, always from the origin. I might measure it from the east this time. So I would line it up like this and measure from down here. Sorry. Measure from down here, going up, and I get 43 degrees. So square bracket, I was measuring from the east, 43 degrees, and which way did I turn? North. Now, what would I accept? I'd accept, like, if you got 44, 45, 42, somewhere in that vicinity. You may, instead of getting 9.4 centimeters like I did, you might have gotten something a little different, so you might have ended up with 46 and a half or 48, but you need to be as careful as possible. That's why you need a nice fine tip pencil, and you need to like look right down so you can see it, so that you can get as accurate numbers as possible. Okay? And so this would be the answer to question 2. All right? So it's about practicing to get your measure your protractor the right way and being as accurate as possible. Okay? All right. Number 1 on that page. Let's take a look. Number 1 says Jim, Kelly, Amber, and Steve are throwing a softball around the back parking lot for their lunch hour at LHHS. Jim throws the ball to Kelly, who's 8 meters away, safely social distanced from him. She then throws it to Amber, 20 meters away.